the Stafford Voice.
Let's get to the bottom line, shall we? And look, this is it. We are almost to the finish line of one of the most craziest of elections. And you know what's depressing? People are going nuts over this, including those that are running. But do you know what's funny? Each and every person will be absolutely glued to their couches awaiting the outcome. An outcome that we stand a chance of not knowing for days to come. One's going to argue that the system is rigged and demand some sort of action take place to make sure that they lost fair and square. The other, well, they'll probably argue that the Russians have sabotaged this election and we need to postpone the verification of the results until a full investigation is conducted to know to what extent Russia interfered. Yet, sadly, many people will lay down in fear that night that when they wake up in the morning, it will be the end of the world as we know it. The reality of all of this, life will go on, and so will the country. But do not take all of that lightly. It isn't time to surrender. It's the time to fight. Just when your opponent thinks they have the upper hand, that is, you strike harder. We've discussed many important things on this show. We've looked at history. We've looked at individuals. Most of all, we've taken time to look at the groundwork that is laid out before us. We're armed, not with weapons, but with a knowledge that will bring forth a new era. But only if we work together. No one of us can do it alone. True, there may only be a few of us willing to stand with our feet in the fire, but too much is at stake. Now is not the time to rest. It's time to push forward, time to take back what once was plain and precious. Let us remember what those men and women that have come before us said when they stared death in the eye and said, quote, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. And when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. If that duty falls on us, let me echo the words of Thomas Paine when he said that, quote, these are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country, but he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price on its goods, and it will be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. There's much more at stake than the outcome of this election. Win or lose, we have much work to get done. And truth be told, it will be a long and painful path we must travel. It took only a few men and women to start a revolution that gifted us with the pleasures of liberty and freedom for the last 200 plus years. It's been done before, and by the grace of God, we can do it again. I've said once before that it's easy to talk the talk, but the true test comes when you're faced with walking the walk. Standing in defense of all that makes America great will come with great challenges, and some of us may never see the fruit of our labors. But I can attest to this. I will not stray from my principles, morals, or values. I will continue to promote conservatism. And most of all, I will defend America from foreign and domestic. And together, we will carry the torch of liberty. This we'll defend. And that's the bottom line.